Morning all, Elaine here from MRE Studio Designs, and today I think we're going to work on some earrings. And you're going to need some black clay rolled out on a number 3, and this doesn't have to be your pure black because we're going to be putting mica powders on it. So as you could tell in this one, we have some little mica powder flakes and everything in it. Not a problem at all. You're going to need some cutters, your tissue blade, craft knife, definitely a needle tool, your roller, some mica powders. I haven't decided which ones to use yet, so basically I just pulled out a whole bunch of ones that I like. And of course your roller and your pasta machine. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start out with the one small piece, and as I said, it's rolled out on a number 3 on our pasta machine, and this is going to be the top layer of our earrings. And there's no rhyme or reason how you want to do this. You can either do this in stripes, you could do it in dots, you can just put it randomly anywhere. So I'm going to start off with some chameleon colors, and this one is mint. And I think I want to do this in stripes first. So I'm just going to put some right on here. And I have this piece wide enough so that if I do it in stripes, I can cut them in half and have the same stripes on alternating sides. So that's our green. And then I think I want some magenta. And this sheet is big enough that I can actually do different kinds on here and just use them however I want to. But the first thing we need to do is get all of our mica powders on here. So magenta, we want to blur that line a little bit. And I think a little bit of gold in the middle. And this is the solar gold in the Pearlex. Just a little bit. Just for a little contrast, a little brighter. Maybe a little bit on the end here too. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And lastly will be our blue. So, and this is Let's Resin Chameleon Blue. Now, if I take this and cut it in half, that's enough for like one pair of earrings, if that's what I want to do with that. I think for another pair, maybe we're going to do some dots. And these are actually nail glitter or nail mica powders. They're a little bit chunkier than the Pearlex or the Let's Resin. We're just going to put some anywhere we want. And this would probably be a second pair of earrings. And as I always say, you don't have to do this the way that I do it. You can put your colors anywhere you want to, any colors you want to. Got to remember, these are your projects, not mine. I'm just giving you a little bit of inspiration. Give it your own flair. I think I want to do a red pair. And anybody that knows me knows my favorite color is red. So we're just going to do the third pair just in red. So now that we have all of our mica powders down, for this particular project, we want to make some contrasting lines through it. which is why we have it on the black and why we have our needle tool. So first I want to make some fairly deep lines all the way across. They don't have to be any particular lengths or any particular thickness, just a bunch of lines. First going down. Now you can do this with just the lines going down, or you can do them with the lines going across. I think we'll do them in several different ways so we can see the differences. But this first one, I think I just want straight lines on here, or as straight as possible. On this one, we're going to start off with the straight lines, like this. Horizontal and diagonal. And I think we're going to do some horizontal lines as well. Okay, and on the red one, we're going to start off with the lines. And I think we're going to go across this way. And across this way. So that'll do for our lines. So we're going to separate these into 3 different pieces. We have our straight lines. We have and that one. So that's going to be our 3 different sets of earrings, all made out of one piece of clay. So we have the red, the multicolor, and the stripes. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this on a backing. I think that might be too thick. I'm going to bring this down another notch. Okay, I brought this down to a number 5. Of course, we don't need quite that much. So we'll put this piece on the side. I think that'll work out better. What we want to do with each of these now is we're going to cut out little strips and place them on the black backing. Okay, and these strips do not need to be any particular width. They just need to be straight across. There we go. And what we want to do is space them. It's underneath there. There we go. Is space them so that there's a little space in between each row. You don't have to have them exactly the same. You can do like a off center a little bit on a few of them so they're not exactly put together exactly the same way. Kind of an optical illusion kind of effect. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with all of the other 2 pieces that we colored, and I will be back. Okay, so here are our 2 colorful pieces put on the black little spaces in between and everything. And I'm looking at the red one, and I'm thinking instead of putting it on a black background, maybe I'll put it on a gold background. So what I want to do is I want to take some of my gold mica powder and just cover this whole piece. Yeah, that's better. But basically, we're just going to cover this in the gold. Now, because we put mica powder on here, if we expect our other clay to stick to it, we're going to need to put some Bacon Bond on it as well. So we need our Bacon Bond. And spread that around. Otherwise our pieces would not stick. So again, on this one, we're just going to cut out little stripes and then just start placing them on the gold. Okay, so I've finished placing all of our pieces, and I trimmed away a lot of the excess. And what we're going to do now is we need to figure out which cutters we want to use. So I have a rectangular one here, and I'm wondering if this is big enough. And yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to do a rectangular pair of earrings out of this. There's our earrings there. And I think I want to do this pair as posts, and I think I want to curve them. So I have my little handy dandy bead, hollow bead maker, and I'm going to place those on there. One on that side. And one on this side. And that's going to be our one pair of earrings. Okay, so here are our earrings, and we're going to put them in the oven at the recommended temperature of 275 for half an hour. We are using the Sculpey Primo clay. That's the recommended temperature. And we will be right back. I'm out of the oven, and they're all nice and cooled. Okay, so we're going to cut out pieces to back our earrings with, and put our posts in. Now the black clay I'm using is not straight black. It's, again, one of my scrap black, and that's okay because it's going to be the back. We want to make sure these fit, which they do. And we want to put the posts in the middle. So it's going to be on this line. Right about there. So we're just going to put a hole in there. And the same thing with this one. Right about the same space. Right about there. And I'll only do this one pair, and all the other are going to be about the same. So we need some Bacon Bond on the back of our earrings. And you don't need a lot. You just need to spread it around really well. Decide which way is going to be up. So take our post, put it through the hole, and take our earring and put the back on it. Okay, so we took our post and put it in the hole, put it on our earring, and we're just going to make sure everything fits. Get my craft knife and just take the excess off. Just smooth out the edges a little bit. Now, if you want to, you could put some mica powder on the back. You could texture the back, do whatever you like. I think I'm just going to leave mine plain. Smooth it out a little bit. So that's going to be our earrings. I'm going to go ahead and finish the other ones, and then we're going to put them in the oven at 275 for another 30 minutes, and they should be done. So I will be back. Okay, so our pieces are now out of the oven and all cooled off. Now the last thing we need to do is to resin them. So I'm going to get my silicone mat. And I think we will start with these. And I'll just do these. We're going to do the backs first. And I'm using a clear hard resin. Just going to put a little bit on each one. We're not going to do a real thick coat. We just want to seal it and make it a little shiny. We're just going to, and I use a brush, as I said, as I always say, because I feel like I have a little bit more control. I just move it around all over the place. You should always put just a little bit on there to begin with, because you can always add more. It's a little more difficult when you're trying to take excess off. And just make sure that's all covered. It's good. Bring that down and over. All the way to the edge. Now I have a UV lamp that has a 30-minute timer on it. It is LED. And I like to leave them in 30 minutes because that way I know they're really hard and totally cured. You can also, of course, leave them out in the sun, but it is raining today, so we can't do that. Okay. And then we're going to hit it with our torch just to make sure we don't have any bubbles. Okay, so I'm going to finish doing the rest of them, and I'm going to put them under the lamp for half an hour, and then I will resin the fronts, and we will be all done. So I will see you in a little bit. And so here we are back. with our finished products. You can see they're all resin front and back. They're really pretty. I think so anyway. So there's lots of things you could do with this technique depending upon how you score them. I hope this has given you some inspiration. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thank you.